Hello, and welcome to Cooking with the Candidate. Tonight I'm going to be preparing stuffed pasta frittata. Here are the ingredients we'll need. First, our base is, once again, ground turkey burger. We're going to have a mixture of mozzarella and Monterey Jack cheese, some spinach, most of an onion, half an onion, linguine, butter, diced tomatoes, garlic, oregano, and basil. And of course, eggs. We'll start by browning the meat. Now to give the ground turkey a bit more authentic flavor, I like to add a little bit of poultry seasoning because it makes it taste a little bit more like Italian sausage. It's not perfect, but it works. Now we take the onion, put it in the food processor, and grind it up. Now turn the oven on to medium-high, the burner on to medium-high, and get some water for the noodles. Now, while these are cooking, we're going to get the eggs ready to go in at a later stage. So, pick out 6 eggs that look good. In this case, it'll be these 6. Now, this recipe is easily scalable, so if you want a smaller frittata, you can just use 3 eggs. I'm using 6 eggs because got a lot of people to feed here, so we need a large frittata. Now, if you're using farm eggs like I am here, you probably want to make sure that all the eggs are good before you mix them all together. So I'm going to crack them into a separate bowl and then mix them in the main bowl. Now we need to beat the eggs. So take a hand mixer like this one and beat the eggs. Now, once the eggs are beaten, add a dash of salt and a little bit of pepper. Now that the turkey burger is browned, or grayed because I'm colorblind and it's turkey burger, we'll drain the fat off. Now we'll turn that burner down to warm while we wait for the noodles to finish, and wait for the noodles to finish. Now that the noodles have finished, we need to prepare the butter. And you just want to microwave this till it's melted. That's all you need to do. Now you want to take this melted butter and just drizzle it all over the noodles. Now that the butter is nice and mixed in, you remember those eggs we made earlier? I'm going to stick those in. At this point, we're going to add the rest of the spices we need for the entire dish. So that's a liberal amount of garlic. Now, as you can see there, the egg has sort of cooked onto the hot noodles, and that's exactly what you want. It's going to help us keep it together in the next step. Well, next step after the next couple steps. Now we're going to be adding oregano and basil, two of my favorite spices. Now we're going to go back to our meat and onion mixture and add a couple more things. First, we're going to be adding the diced tomatoes. Now personally, I like them chopped up fine, but that's really a matter of personal preference. Now just pour those right on into the meat and onion mixture. Now we're going to put in a bit of spinach, and that's really just for health reasons. I like spinach, so well, as you can see, I like spinach. So take that and grind it up good, and let's get it in there. This is, of course, easier when the dog decides not to sleep in your cooking area. But, you know, let sleeping dogs lie, so. Now, we're going to take our big pan here, put it on the recently vacated burner, and add a little bit of oil. Turn that on to medium-low heat, and wait a few minutes. Now that the oil's heated, we're going to take about half of the noodle egg mixture and put that into the pan, making sure it's spread evenly about the bottom. Now we're going to take our lovely mixture of mozzarella and Monterey Jack cheese and pour that liberally over the noodles. Now we're going to take our delicious meat and onion and tomato and spinach and get that all over here as the next layer. And now we top it off with the rest of the noodle mixture. Now I'm going to take a spatula and push the edges of the noodles down around the meat and cheese to make sure that they're completely enclosed by the noodles. So you have a whole pie of noodles. This has to cook until the top is just slightly moist. But if that is too non-specific, it needs to cook for about 25 to 30 minutes. Now that the frittata is cooked through on the bottom, we need to broil it for just a couple minutes to make sure it's cooked on the top. Now you just want to stick that in the broiler until you can see that the top is nice and fried. Any longer than that and it'll start to burn. It still needs a little bit. Just a little bit longer. I cannot tell with linguine as much as fettuccine. Now that the top of the frittata has been fried, you can either put it on a serving plate or serve it from the pan. Because I don't have a serving plate big enough for this one, it's going to be served from the pan. And there we have it, stuffed pasta frittata. Delicious and nutritious. Thank you for joining me on Cooking with the Candidate. Enjoy your meal, and I'll see you next time.